ChromaGun is another in a long list of games I was patiently waiting for to be patched with PlayStation VR support before really diving into it. And actually, we first revealed that ChromaGun would be making the transition back in August of 2017, with an expected release date of early 2018. Well, it obviously took a lot longer than expected and required much more than a simple patch, resulting in a full, separate release on the PlayStation Store. But ChromaGun VR is finally here, and I'm happy to say that, although it didn't quite make the transition unscathed, what we ultimately got is by far the best version of the game. I think the greatest thing about ChromaGun VR is that we're finally playing something other than a shooter with the much lauded aim controller. Holding this giant paintball gun feels so goofy that you can't help but smile as you enter the first room. And this is when ChromaGun introduces us to its color-based mechanics. Those big orbs are called worker droids, and they're attracted to walls that are painted the same colors they are. Red attracts red, blue attracts blue, and so on. The trouble begins when you need to get the droids to unlock doors by making them hover over specific locations. And this is where your ChromaGun comes into play. Shooting walls and droids will blanket them with whatever primary color you choose, and shooting them with another primary color will mix the two colors on the fly. Basic knowledge that yellow and blue make green, yellow and red make orange, and that blue and red make purple will certainly help you out here. Getting complicated, right? Well, not really. I wouldn't exactly consider myself a puzzle game expert. In fact, I think I'm often downright terrible at them. But from the first stage until the last, ChromaGun doesn't push back at all. Every level is pretty straightforward, and I was able to sail through most of them on my first attempt, making this more of a casual puzzle game than anything. As easy as ChromaGun is, clocking in at around 4 hours, there's still a few quibbles that'll keep your experience from being ideal. First, the inclusion of fail states is pretty glaring. It's a bit too easy to accidentally paint a wall the wrong color, realize there's no way to continue, and have to restart the entire level with the press of the touchpad. I guess the ability to bleach a wall would have made an already easy game even easier, so I shouldn't complain. Again, it shouldn't happen often, but when it does, it just feels so out of place. What does happen often is a serious frame rate drop when using smooth turning. I'm a full locomotion smooth turning guy through and through, but the noticeable stutter twisted even my stomach, so if you're even remotely susceptible to motion sickness, play it safe and keep click turning on. It should be noted that there's not a whole lot going on in the AV department here either. Every level looks pretty much the same, so much so that when halfway through the game the lights go out and you're given a flashlight, I actually breathed a sigh of relief that something finally changed visually. The music is pretty minimal and unobtrusive, and only every so often do we get blessed with some fairly humorous voiceovers about your participation in the ChromaGun experiment. Just be sure to keep all those Portal comparisons to a minimum, because outside of a cool gun and minimalistic look, ChromaGun should in no way, shape, or form be considered a VR version of Valve's classic. ChromaGun VR is a game I've been waiting a long time to play, and I can't say I'm disappointed with the end result. Despite the bare-bones presentation and underwhelming difficulty, this was a nice palate cleanser after some of the more questionable titles I've played recently. Hardcore gamers won't find much of a challenge here, and hopefully the frame rate issues can be patched, but playing ChromaGun in VR with the aim controller is such a unique experience, it's hard not to recommend.